Hey everyone! What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hi and welcome to the countdown to Midnight Sun, the countdown to the new EP, the new music, or some new music. Um, Hi, what's up? I am so excited that I'm doing this. This is so impromptu, but I really wanted to get on here across all the platforms, across all social media that I have so far and really talk about this project, really share what this means, what this is about, to share, my excitement with you all. And I hope that y'all are just as excited for me. Because I can honestly tell you this has been the most emotional and personal project I have ever done. I know I've done a lot of personal stuff, but this is the most personal project I've done since. And I kind of really wanted to make this piece the closer of a healing journey. I really did. Like this right here is like the closure of a journey that I've been on for myself. A healing journey, a journey of dealing with a lot of things, dealing with grief, dealing with trauma, dealing with self doubt. And, even with all those things, I still deal with it. I still have those moments where I still feel like, man, am I good enough? Am I not good enough? And I really wanted this music specifically to really talk about that because there's so many people who are dealing with so many different things, so many different traumas, and more importantly, they're not spoken up about, especially with men, black men. We don't really have a space in these conversations about mental health. And I really wanted this piece to be like a safe space for us. I really, really did. I really used my own experiences, my own my own personal demons that I personally fight with as like granting people permission to be like, it's okay. It's okay not to be okay, all that jazz. Um and today I was kind of like, I was in my car today. I was really praying, like, you know, God, I'm trying to figure out, am I still good enough? Am I good enough? Like, am I good enough? And it's just like, yo, you're good enough. You're good enough for this. So I'm I'm j- I'm really excited about Midnight Sun. I'm really excited about um what what can come of it. I'm excited about what this means. And yeah, this does feel like a closing of a chapter. This does feel like a moving forward in both vibe and sonics. It's definitely more like it's a moving forward within the vibe and in the sonics. Like sonically, I kind of been in this like little place of let's make really, really big cinematic music to express everything, all the emotion, the entire emotional spectrum, anger, rage, happiness, sadness. And it's kind of like it's just kind of the closing of a big opera in a way. It's like we've gone up and down, we've seen the beginning, the middle, and the end of a story. And I kind of feel like moving forward, moving forward now, I kind of just want to just make fun, fun stuff. I just really want to make stuff that's fun now. I really want to make songs that make me smile and make me get up and dance and just be happy. And I guess it's, I guess having this project is very important. It's super important to me to just close this one out and be like, yeah, yeah, it's time. It's time to close this chapter, you know, and go to something different, go to a different sound. So I'm really excited for everyone to hear this project. Yeah. I think for midnight, I'm for everyone doesn't know, I'm talking to everyone on Instagram and everything else. So yeah, I'm in my creative pop bag. I've always been in my creative pop bag. I I've always been in my creative pop bag. I think with the projects I've done, it's been my cinematic pop bag. I've been in like we're making soundtrack music. We're making music that if I put on Oppenheimer, is it Oppenheimer or Oppenheimer? Oppenheimer. That's what it is. Um, if I put on Oppenheimer right now, you're gonna probably hear a song kind of similar to like a Christopher Nolan film, or very similar to like a Hans Zimmer in my own weird way. I'm not saying that I'm like those guys, but you know what? I'm gonna toot my own horn. Yeah, I like Hans Zimmer. I like Hans Zimmer. Um, but I think moving forward after this is definitely gonna be more fun. More taking some creative liberties. Taking some creative liberties. Um, so I'm going to. I had a list of questions. Like one of my reporter friends was like, "You got to answer these questions." So I got some questions from some people, and I am going to answer them in the best way I know how. Let's see. All right, so here's some of the questions. So the first question is about the very, very first track of the project, and it is Grandma's Heart. And the question is, what was the inspiration behind this track? Why was it so important to have it on Midnight Sun? Good question. So I wanted to open up the project with Grandma's Heart, which is basically my grandmother. I opened it up with her because this whole project was very much inspired by her. It was very much inspired by her strength and her tenacity and her power to overcome, but it was also the inspired by the grief that I felt losing her. And all I could hear whenever I feel like giving up, all I could hear when I felt like giving up, when I felt like I wanted to throw in the towel and quit, because there have been plenty of times that I felt like, nobody's hearing me, nobody's listening to me, nobody's getting what I'm trying to say. I always heard, "Stay on the field, stay on the gospel field, stay till the war is ended." And I constantly sing that in my head when I feel like I want to quit and I can't quit, because there's so much more within me that I don't even know I have, that I'm just still trying to bring out. So having that song open up kind of says, this is going to be me pushing through some things. This is going to be me pushing through a lot of things that I haven't even touched or dealt with or wanted to deal with. And I'm doing it in my own way, my own little version of therapy, which is singing, songwriting, and speaking my truth, my language, all that. So it was very important to have um, Grandma's Heart, my grandmother, on this album, on this EP with me. It was so important. I had to. I had to have it. All right. Next question. Frequency was about grief and the loss of people that you love. Can you tell us the writing process behind it? Awesome. So, Frequency. I wrote Frequency while I was sick in bed. Oh, people want to ask questions. Go ahead. Ask questions. Ask questions. Go ahead. Go ask questions. You can still ask questions. I'm sorry. I should be reading these questions, but you can still ask questions. If you have questions, put them in, type them up. Go ahead. Um, frequency. Frequency was written when I was sick. I was dealing with COVID. Um, and I had some terrible news. I lost a student, a young boy, 11 years old, and he passed away in his sleep. And it was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back for me. It was like I was already dealing with years of grief. I had a whole decade where it was just like back to back to back to back to back to back passing of people. And I think that one was kind of like, God, can I just get a break? Can I just get a break from just like the constant losing of people? Um, so I wrote this sick as a dog with COVID, in my bed, crying like full tears. Um, and I just wrote. I didn't really have a melody or anything. I just went and just wrote whatever. And it wasn't until I went to the studio where it all came together, and that's how Frequency came to be. And Frequency was never supposed to be part of a project. It was never going to be a song that I decided, oh, here's her project. But it was a basis of what I wanted to speak on, which was mental health and mental health awareness and mental illness and grief, all that. It was kind of the basis of what I wanted to say. All right, we got a question from Instagram. I want to know how many songs did you have to cut from the project and which ones were the saddest I have to cut and why? Okay, so initially I had a full I had a full album already planned for the year. So initially had a whole album planned for the year. The problem was a lot of things came up and certain songs didn't fit the time. So that's part one. Certain songs didn't fit the timing that I wanted it to be on. Um, Number two, I kind of I kind of went to a different flip the switch, and there were certain songs I was like, I can't have the album end like this, where it was like low energy. I wanted it to like if we're going from Midnight Sun arc to I gave the second arc so many names. So like the second arc was called Phoenix, and then the other one's called Rise, and then Arise, and I don't know what the second half is going to be called, but we'll figure out a name. Um, the second half was supposed to be a matriculation up in energy, like the energy stays up because it was supposed to be nonstop, like happiness, um, very EDM heavy, very dance heavy, um, pop, rock. With I did have like a very sexy R&B song that I wanted to put out, and I just didn't feel like it would serve the album how I wanted it to. So those are some songs that kind of had to be pushed back or tossed or put in the vault away from everybody else. Um, so I can reformat, rethink, and breathe new life to the second half of the album. Okay, so a couple songs that were kind of cut that I had to put away. Better Off, which was kind of like my kiss off the people. Better Off was had to get cut. Um, oh, there was another one. Better Off. No Love is finished. I did it with my cousin. Like No Love, that song might come out next year. We don't know. No Love. Um, Kyoto Days, Tokyo Nights is another one. Um, Truth is one that was so hard to write, and it's very centric. It was a lot of dubstep and a lot of breakdowns in it. I could not really write that fast enough. It was like, I'm gonna save that for another day. But it definitely was like something I had to put out for like the clubs in the summer. There's a lot of songs. Um, I am working on some new material, very inspired by um the group ATs, Stray Kids, um, MX. Really love those bands. I really got inspired by them. So I really want to. Yes, a lot of music was very influenced. But yeah, I really was inspired by those kind of sounds and sonic. Um, Next question. So the next question on my question roll is, why call it Midnight Sun? Okay. So Midnight Sun was actually going to be an arc. Um Midnight Sun, oh, no problem. No problem for answering. Midnight Sun was actually supposed to be an arc in the album, the full album, which was Resurgence. And it still would be called Resurgence, Electric Kingdom Part 2. Um, but we wanted to cut it in half and we kind of said, okay, let's do this as an EP. Boom. Got it. Great. So I called it Midnight Sun reflect meaning the moon. So the sun is the day moon, the moon is the midnight sun. And it's because when it is the most blackest of night, the moon is the only light that you have. And it reveals every secret that you may every secret that you may be hiding. So a lot of this was me revealing a lot of things that I don't talk about. Like um me still holding on to memories of a love that will never happen. I'd let that go. Dealing with imposter syndrome, had to let that go. Um, Dealing with grief, had to deal with that. And so it was really like the revealing of all the scars and the bruises and everything else. So Midnight Sun just means re- revealing. That's it. It just means to reveal. So I'm very weird with names. I'm weird with names. Like the first project was Innocence and Fall, that was supposed to reflect, Phoenix. And then this was just Midnight Sun to reflect, the space vibes and kind of like I won't say spacey. I would say like mental, mystical, vibey kind of thing. I don't know what we're gonna call the second half. Don't quote me on it. I don't know what I'm calling it. All I know is it's gonna be fun. That's all I can tell you. I don't know what else to call it. Uh, let's see. Let's see. I'm looking through these questions. I'm trying to find a really good one. Trying to find a really good one. Yeah, yeah. Do, 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 oh, oh, oh. Da, da, don't, don't. Oh, here it is. Found it. So the EP is a fusion of different musical styles. How did you go about blending traditional pop, R&B, and dubstep? Why are these particular genres chosen to express the EP's themes? Good question. Um, for one, I've always been raised on pop music. Um, so the Britneys, the Instincts, Christinas, the Janet Jacksons, Leans. I was always raised on pop music. Um, and I really feel like have kind of going back to my wheelhouse of those sounds to express these emotions and these feelings definitely helped. It kind of was like a muscle memory. It's like, oh, I know how this sounds. I know how to make this sound this way. I know how this is composed and this is written, this is arranged. It was definitely like muscle memory for me in a particular sort of way. Um, Having dubstep for a song like Warrior, it was kind of like that's kind of like a changing of the guard for me with Warrior because Warrior fits, but it doesn't fit. while all the other songs are very pop R&B focused, Warrior is very like heavy on the electronic side of things, very experimental, and it's kind of like the changing of the mindset, going from this very low and dark place to this more triumphant, fiery place. And I really think having songs like that on the album, and even I kind of repurposed an old single, Born Again, as the ending song because it just fits. It fits that way. So I really want people to listen to this whole project as a whole and listen to the storyline, listen to the dynamics, not only in the story, but the sound and how each particular sound represents a story, like a little thread, and they all connect. I know we're all big on singles. I really feel like this project is something that you have to go through. It is short. It's a short project. Y'all can get through like 6 songs, no problem. Not even an issue. Y'all can get through 6 songs. Okay, next question. Next question. So the EP is set to release October 17th, 2023. How does it feel to share such a personal and emotional music with your audience? It feels good. I think we explained that earlier. It feels great to just share it with people, share it with others, and especially those who may be going through something. Like as I said, like the music that I want this to be like is this is therapy. This is a safe space. This is a place where y'all can just come and just chill. And that's the same with my shows. Like when I do a show, like I want my shows to feel like a safe space. I want my shows to feel like a place where you can be yourself and unload, unwind, all that other stuff. Um, so I really feel like sharing my story with other people is not just so I can seem relatable. It's just I want to connect with audiences and listeners on like a deeper level. Like I want to share my story so that you can share your story, that you can open up about yourself, that you can go on your own journey for yourself. So that has always been my thing when it comes to sharing this type of music all together. Okay, we got another one about the tracks. Another one about the tracks. Warrior. Warrior appears to be to mark a sense of rebirth and a pursuit of happiness. Can you share the story behind the song and the role in rounding out the EP's narrative? So, as I said before, Warrior is kind of like the changing of the mindset, changing of the guard. When I wrote Warrior, I kind of wrote Warrior as a reintroduction to me. It was definitely a reintroduction to me and like a me that is now, not the same person that I was 5 years ago or 10 years ago, not the same person I was when I started recording in a basement of my dormitory in 2009. Like it's me now. And really it's me saying affirmations to myself. Blessed up by God, warrior of the light, diamond heart, can't break me. It's an affirmation and it's the changing of the mindset. And I feel like having that song round out the entire project as a whole, very important. Very, very, very much key. Super key fact. Are there any musical techniques or production techniques you use to capture the emotional depth of the EP's themes? Um, a lot of crying. A lot of crying. A lot of crying. Um, a lot of going through journals. A lot of finding songs I've had for years and reworking them. Like a lot of that had to happen. Another thing was trying different techniques when recording. So when we were recording Masquerade, I didn't stand up and sing it. I kind of for some parts of the song, I sang underneath the microphone. So I sat down underneath it and just sang like the background vocals because I wanted it to feel like two people were singing at the same time. I wanted it to feel like the the switching of different voices. So like the lower voice, like the real version of you, and like the upper, like the voice that you normally hear, is the fake version. So I really wanted that to be a thing. I wanted it to be different styles and techniques trying to convey the song. All right. Oh, hang on. I lost my list. Oh. What's up? What's up? What's up? All right. As an artist, what do you ultimately want listeners to take away from the music in terms of the sorry, take away from the EP in terms of music itself and the themes that address? I think we talked about it. Kind of did that one. Yeah, I'm being different. I'm always being different. Um, Looking ahead, can you offer any insights of what listeners might expect from upcoming installments of the Resurgence arc? Fun. Enough of the sad stuff. Like I know that this was like the healing, the closing of the healing journey, but like I said before, the, moving forward, a lot more fun, a lot more fun, a lot more energy, a lot more laughter, a lot more happiness. Because we can't all make sad boy music forever. I don't like being sad. I don't like being miserable. I don't like crying. So I much rather make after this EP a lot more fun music, a lot more music that I can dance to, a lot more music that y'all can dance to. Um, Whether it be like a K-pop song or an EDM song, an R&B song, like just something that's just that gets the people dancing. I think we're in that mode now where it's like we just want to be outside and just dance the night away. Oh, that's a Dua Lipa song. That is a Dua Lipa song. Um, oh, this one's a good one. Masquerade. Masquerade touches on authenticity in the face of social norms. How does the track reflect to your experience, and why was it so important to include in this collection? Oh, yo, 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 yo. So let's explain Masquerade because Masquerade just came out last week, and I hope y'all were listening to it. And the video comes out tomorrow at 5 p.m. Hoi, so Masquerade was basically me. I wrote it in meditation. I meditated on that sequence song. So Masquerade was written in the perspective of I am talking to the version that people want me to be, which is prim, proper, nicely dressed, all that stuff. But that's not who I am. I've always felt like being my authentic self, being my weird, kooky self, was always the true version of me. When I'm with my friends, I get to be the true version of me, where my guard is down, where I can laugh, where I can finally have fun. When I'm always feeling like I have to be this perfect person, which I can't be. I can't be that person that everybody wants me to be. It's literally like killing yourself over and over again internally. So I hope the AI didn't catch it on Instagram, but and Facebook. But it's just like I really want. I just want to be. I just really want to be the most authentic version of me. And I think when you see the video, it makes much more sense. And having it on there, it's kind of like that's the final piece of the healing journey. The final piece of the healing journey is when you confront you. When you finally confront you and all the burdens that you allowed yourself to take up from other people that you ain't even cut off yet, that is one of the hardest part of a journey is when you finally say enough and I just want to be free now. So masquerade to me is me finally saying I'm taking off the mask, the costumes, everything, and I'm just going to be the realest version of me. Realest version of me. Great Gatsby. I love Great Gatsby. Great Gatsby's a great novel. Some electro swing, that'd be kind of cool doing an electro swing song. Hate that I love you. That's someone's writing all these good. My friend wrote a lot of good questions. Hate that I love you. Haha. Hate that I love you deals with the challenges of letting go and moving on. How did you approach conveying those complex emotions with the sound and lyrics? Hate that I love you was very much inspired by NSYNC, 98 Degrees, and the boy bands down in the 2000s. I wanted that sound. I feel like that sound kind of conveyed what the song was about. So like if I like I was listening I wrote this after listening to Show Me the Meaning of Being Lonely. I think that's from the Backstreet Boys. Yeah. So I was finished listening to that. And then I listened to Gone by NSYNC. And then I think it was either Ricky Martin or Ricky Iglesias who did Nobody Wants to Be Lonely. Nobody wants to cry. I said, you know what? We're gonna make a song just like that. We're gonna talk about being super honest about it and being very precise about letting go of people and romance and relationships that are not good for you. And I think that's something that we all deal with and we don't talk about is being around people either through trauma bonding or just not wanting to let them go because we don't want to be lonely. We don't want to be hurt. We don't want to be by ourselves a lot. And I feel like that. I dealt with that a couple years ago. Someone who I really, really cared for, and I didn't want to lose them. I didn't want to, um, upset them or anything like that. And it was getting to a point where it was really, really, really toxic. And I just had to just off altogether. And does it get lonely? Yeah, but I feel like I'm in a much better place without that relationship altogether. Um, and I feel like anyone who's dealing with a toxic relationship, whether it be a friend or a family, you gotta let that go completely. Let it go. If it's not serving you, it's not doing you any good. It's only hurting you. Let it go. Yeah. All right. All right. All right. All right. So we got one more question. Go. Got one more question. And if anyone else has any questions, go ahead and ask it right now. What are you most excited about with the release of your EP? Just for people to hear it. That's it. Just for people to hear it. I'm just excited for people to hear it and, tell me their response to it. Let me know how they feel about it. I'm excited about that. That's gonna get me hyped just to hear that. Just to hear that someone listened to it. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me be very, very honest. If people don't want to know. Some of your indie artist friends. Oh, I hit my microphone. Some of your indie artist friends would like to hear that they did a good job. Some of your indie artist friends would love it too if you just listen to their stuff and just hear what they have to say. We know they're not a Beyonce. We know they're not a Taylor. We know they're not a Madonna. We know they're not a Drake. We understand. We understand. But for some of us who are indie artists who are doing this by ourselves, the most exciting thing for us as indie artists if someone just takes the time and listen and interacts and say something. Because just hearing that you listen to it and just hearing that you took the time out and listened to a song or a body of work or bought a piece of merch or came to a show, it makes us feel great and it pushes us to keep going. Let me repeat that again. Just the fact that you, for your indie artist friends, let me repeat that again for friends of indie artists. Just the fact that you went to listen to a body of work or a single, bought some merch, went to a show, commented on their social media page, commented on their YouTube page, subscribe. Just those simple things fuels them, especially if they do it by themselves. So for me, who's been doing this alone for a minute, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm trying to build a team. It's not easy, but we're working on it. We're trying to build a team. Um, just a simple fact of hearing people say to me, "You're doing good. Your music is okay. It's great. You're doing the best you can." It's fuel for me because there are days when I don't feel my best. There are days when I don't feel like I'm doing enough. There are days when I feel like I should be I should be miles ahead with a lot of the work I'm doing, but I know I'm not, and I still got to work, and I still got to do what I do, and it does get discouraging, and it does get overbearing when you're by yourself. So when you tell an indie artist, yeah, you're doing good, you're doing all right, it's just fuel, and it just makes us feel good just to have a pat on the back some days and being like, okay, I can move with the little bit of fuel I got. So yeah. All right. So that's my spill. That is my spill. I thank you guys so much for watching this live, this countdown to Midnight Sun. Midnight Sun drops tomorrow. The video drops tomorrow on my YouTube channel, David Gibbons on YouTube, at 5 p.m. I hope you guys watch it. It's gonna be cool. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram at David's World 1898 on every social media platform that you could think of. That's my name. I don't change it. I'm not gonna. Also, check me out on the website at www.davidworld.us. That's www.davidworld.us. Check out the merch store because the new merch drops tomorrow. It drops tomorrow at 5 along with the new EP. So, thank you guys so much. I hope you guys tell me how you love Midnight Sun. So excited. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for trusting me with this journey. Thank you for being with me all these years. Thank you so, so much. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you allowing me to share my world with you. Thank you and God bless.